Hello everyone, I am Lori Kutsch and welcome back to another Makers with Heart video collaboration. This month we're focusing on stencils and different techniques with stencils. So I'm going to be using our brand new butterfly slimline embossing folder and stencils. So you get this adorable embossing folder and 2 stencils. So the first thing I did is our slimline cards are 3.5. Was it 3.5? Oh, forgetting. Hold on. Yeah, 3.5 by 8.5. So I cut a piece of White Daisy cardstock to those size, and it's going to just fit over the top of that. So I'm going to set it aside for right now. We're going to use 3 inks. We're going to use Ballerina, Peach, and Mulberry. So we're also going to be using the Close to My Heart die cutting and embossing machine. And if you haven't used this, I love it. It's one of my favorite tools in my craft room. And I'll show you why. Ooh, try to do this. So you have it where you can set it for 3D emboss, letterpress, 2D emboss, or die cut. And then you have, oh, I hope you can see this, where you can set the tension to looser or tighter. And so you don't have to shim things anymore. You just adjust it right there. And then when you open it, and it won't do it on my table here because it's got texture to it, but once you open it and lock it into, well, it is kind of, it locks it into place, not really, because there's sections on the bottom and it keeps it from moving. Excuse me. So before we do this, I'm going to just move it out of the way. My technique, I want to set this over here, is we're going to ink our embossing folder before we put the paper in. So what we're going to do is, you need to see, this is the indented side, so this is going to be the raised side. So here's a test piece. So this was in here. So somewhere in there, I don't know. But this is the raised indented piece is what goes in here. So I don't want the ink inside. I want the ink on the outside. So I'm going to take the Ballerina ink because it's the lightest, and I'm just going to rub it on here. And it doesn't have to be perfectly all the way to the ends, because then that will give us that not perfect edge, which is fine. I just want to make sure that it's around the butterflies and not in the butterflies. So can you see where the ink is? I mean, it's really pale, so I don't know that you can see it on there, but it's there, trust me. And then I'm going to put what I'm going to use as my card inside here and close down the embossing folder. So next we get our embossing machine out. And get our platforms. I'm going to stick this on here, stick this in here, and just run it through. And then I run it back through. You don't usually have to, but I really want to get that ink on there really good. And then we're going to be done with this. Don't fall. So now when I take this off, I've got kind of a distressed edge around here, and my butterflies are still white. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. And then I can just run that underwater. Not this, but the stencil or the embossing folder. And that will take all that ink right off for me. I'm going to grab some foam and our mini blenders. Next, I'm going to take So I've already used the ballerina. I'm now going to take the peach, and I'm going to put the first stencil right on top of the butterflies. And I'm going to grab some washi tape just to hold it in place while I'm stenciling, because I don't want it to move. Nope, not there, because that's going to be on one of my butterflies. Shoot. I'll put this one down here, line it back up. Okay. So now I'm just going to take my mini blender, going to ink it up with peach, and I'm going to do our butterflies in peach. And this kind of moved. Shoot. It will be fine. So I'm just going over. Now remember, these were raised, so they're sticking up through the stencil because we embossed it. Remember, they're on the upside. And I'm not getting the ink even, so there's a little variation in each butterfly's wing. And now I'm done with that one. I'm going to peel this up. And that's where it moved. So, I mean, I'll do better next time. And then we have the next stencil, and this is going to put more definition in the wings. Gonna line that one up. And tape it down as well. Did you know we're having a virtual crop on April 29th? So check out our Facebook page. It is MWH for Makers with Heart Virtual Crop, and you will be asked which maker referred you when you want to join. And so you can just put any of us with the Makers with Heart team and you will be accepted. Or you can use me. I'm Lori. Okay, next I'm using mulberry. Again, got my mini blender. Gonna ink this up. And I'm going to just add the wing definition. If you're coming to my crop on this coming Saturday, if you're in Reno and you're coming, this will be one of our make and take items. We will be making a project with this stencil. Just gonna add some more on here, make this one a little darker. See, this one's light, this one's dark. See, this didn't take very long at all. This was actually a pretty quick card. I am not done yet though. I am going to get rid of this. Trim around the edges. with my trimmer, I'm going to trim off just, I don't know, is that 1/4 of an inch on each side, so that we're symmetrical all the way around. And then I'm going to take that mulberry ink again and ink up the edges. One thing I love about handmade cards is none of them, no matter how you do them, ever turn out identical. So that makes them really special. And then we're going to put it down. If I can find some adhesive, there's some on our card front. Now remember, because I cut it down, it's not going to sit right on the edges. It's going to be in the middle. And there's my card front. You could add additional bling to this. You can, you know, stamp your sentiment inside. This I would probably do as a birthday card. I have started not stamping things until I want to use them, because sometimes I'll stamp them as a birthday and then decide I want to use them as a thinking of you. And now that I think about that, I do know someone I need to send a thinking of you card to, so I will probably use it for her. And that is it. That is my stencil. There'll be links to everything in the description below, as well as links to the other Makers with Heart channels. Be sure and check out everyone's video. We start every month on the 10th and we go through the 17th. So this is posting on the 13th. So there's 3 videos before mine, and then there'll be some videos after. So just come back each day, check those out, comment, click subscribe, join our virtual crop, and thank you for coming. Have a good night.